So today we start our class with DNA as the genetic material. So how was it proved that DNA is the genetic material? There are two experiments. One is transformation experiment and second is transduction experiment. Transduction experiment. Now for the revised syllabus, ISC students, revised syllabus, transformation experiment has been excluded. Okay? I don't know about the CBSE. You'll have to check with the CBSE. So for your school exam or for the board exam, don't study this transformation experiment. But I will explain both the experiments here because we don't know for entrance what is going to happen and what is going to be the syllabus. So we will not change the syllabus here. Okay, so transformation experiment first I will explain, and last class also you had told me that miss you do the entire syllabus. Fine. So transformation experiment was conducted by Griffith. His full name was Frederick Griffith in the year 1928. He conducted the experiment with the help of Streptococcus pneumonia bacteria. Streptococcus pneumoniae bacteria and mice. So the experimental animal was mice and the name of the bacteria was Streptococcus. Now, Streptococcus pneumoniae, meaning it is causing the pneumonia disease. Streptococcus, the shape is round, and generally in the form of chains like this, round and in the form of chain, like this, in the form of chains. So this is, you don't need to write this here, but all this importance for your entrance. So small points and tips I keep giving in between so that it helps you in your entrance also. So this bacteria is causing pneumonia. The shape of the bacteria is round because coccus hai, and strepto means they are found in chains like this. Now, this bacteria was of two varieties, two strains. So, the bacteria had two strains. One S type, and second is R type. So, S type and R type. The S type bacteria, it produced smooth colonies. The bacteria, when you culture this bacteria, it will produce smooth colonies. And this S is coming from here. S, smooth. The first letter of smooth. So, smooth colonies. It was having a mucus coat. It had a mucus coat around it. This mucus is polysaccharide. So it had a mucus or a polysaccharide coat around the bacteria. Some books you will get as capsule. It is also mentioned as capsule. So it was capsulated. The word is capsulated, meaning it had a mucus coat and it was virulent. Virulent means it was pathogenic. It caused the disease. It caused pneumonia. So 3 points. S type produce smooth colonies. It has a mucus coat or a polysaccharide coat, which is also considered to be capsule, And third point is that it was virulent, meaning it was pathogenic. Now, R type. R type produced rough colonies. Rough colonies. So, R stands here, rough colonies. Mucus coat was definitely absent here. Mucus coat absent. And third point, non-virulent. Non-virulent, meaning it did not cause the disease. So, Streptococcus bacteria, Griffith's experiment was with the help of this bacteria, Streptococcus pneumoniae bacteria, and the experimental animal was mice, that is the rats, and the two strains of this bacteria were used, S type, R type. Once more, we recap about the type of the bacteria. S type produced smooth colonies. It had a mucus coat and it was virulent, meaning it caused the disease. R type produced rough colonies. It did not have the mucus coat and it was non virulent, meaning it did not produce the disease. Like the pneumonia was not caused by the R type. Now, if this is clear, we go ahead with the rest of the explanation. So, experiment 1. S type bacteria was injected into mice. S type bacteria was injected into the mice, and the mice died of pneumonia. The mice died of pneumonia. Experiment 2. R type was injected into the mice, and the mice survived. Nothing happened to the mice. The mice survived. So, in the first experiment, S type of bacteria was injected into the mice, and obviously, the mice died of pneumonia because S type is virulent. In the second experiment, R type was injected into the mice, but the mice survived because it was non virulent. In the third experiment, heat killed S type, meaning the S type was dead. Heat killed by heat treatment. So, S type, heat killed S type was mixed with living R type. Heat killed S type was mixed with living R type. R type was living, S type was dead, and then injected into the mice. So, heat killed S type and living R type both were mixed together and then injected into the mice. And obviously, you will think that the mice will survive, isn't it? The mice will survive because S type is dead, but R type is living. R type is not going to cause the disease. So, the inference or the experimental result should have been that the mice should have survived. But what happened? The mice died. So the mice died, obviously of pneumonia only. And when the bacteria was collected from the dead mice, it was found to be living S type. So when the bacteria was collected from the dead mice, it was found to be living S type. So what has happened over here, the living R type was transformed into living S type. Living R type was transformed, changed into living S type. So that's why this is called as transformation experiment. Transformation experiment conducted by Fred Griffith, and it used to be one of the most popular question, 5 mark question in the board exam. Both these two experiment, transformation and transduction experiment, have been asked time and again in the board exam as a 5 mark question. But lucky for ISC students, I'm still not certain about CBSE. I told you to find out your CBSE change, but I'm sure if ISC has made the change, then CBSE also will make the change. So this particular experiment is not there for your board, but obviously it could be asked in entrance. So we are explaining here. Fine. So living R type has been transformed into living S type. Now, what was the reason? क्या है? What was the reason? Why did this change happen? So, Fred Griffith, according to Griffith, he said that the transforming principle, the principle which was transforming this living R type into living S type, was basically the mucus coat of S type. So, according to Fred Griffith, the mucus coat of the S type transformed the living R type into S type. This is again a very important entrance question, that according to Fred Griffith, what was the transforming principle? So the transforming principle was mucus coat of S type. But this is not correct, and later on a lot of work was continued with this particular experiment, and three scientists, Avery, MacLeod and McCarty. Three scientists, MacLeod, Avery, MacLeod, and McCarty, way back in 1944, they were able to prove that there is some other transforming principle. So they experimented. What they did was, by trial and error method, trial and error method, they proved that the transforming principle was DNA. So Avery, MacLeod, and McCarty in 1944, by trial and error method, this was the method used. They proved that the transforming principle was DNA. So what is this method? What they did was, they took the S type. S type is a dead bacteria here. So they took the S type and broke it into its components. So that they separated the various components of the dead bacteria, like protein, DNA, RNA. These are the main components. And what they did was, they added it to the R type. R type is the living bacteria. So components of the S type were added to the R type, and then they saw if there was any transformation in the R type. So here we can write like this, say protein of S type. I'll just write it closer here. Protein of S type, this is dead bacteria. dead bacteria, protein of S type plus R type. R type is the living bacteria, will be R type. There will be no transformation. R type will remain R type. Second, RNA of S type plus R type will again remain as R type. No transformation. But the third one, when DNA of S type was added to R type, it transformed the R type into S type. So, R type, the living bacteria, when we treat it with the component of protein of the S type, there was no change, no transformation. When RNA was added, again no transformation. But when DNA of S type, that is the dead bacteria, was added to the R type changed into S type. So this proves that the transformation principle was DNA. And when we say this, we also thus we prove that the DNA is the genetic material. The DNA is able to change the heredity or transform, or what you call is the convert the character from one generation to another. So it has converted the R type into S type, transform. Now, a little step further if we go, if suppose a question is given that protease 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 is an enzyme which acts on protein. Does protease somehow affect transformation? So if you add protease over here, it will not affect transformation, it will remain R type only. RNAs will act on RNA. So RNA will act on RNAs. So if you remove the RNA, it is going to affect the transformation. There's no transformation only. But if we put DNA in this particular experiment, DNAs, if we put DNAs in the, because it will digest the DNA, so it will cause no transformation. If DNA of the S type and R type, when we add DNAs, so DNA will get digested and R type will not be transformed into S type. So this DNAs will inhibit transformation. Inhibit means stop transformation. This is one step further which can be explained with this particular experiment. So, transformation experiment was conducted by Frederick Griffith in the year 1928. On two experimental organisms were used. One was bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumonia, and second one was the mice. Streptococcus pneumonia has two strains, S type and R type. S type is virulent, R type is non-virulent. The first experiment, S type is injected into the mice will die. In the second experiment, R type is injected into the mice will survive. In the third experiment, heat killed S type mixed with R type is injected and the mice dies. And the bacteria extracted from the dead mice is living S type. So the living R type has been transformed into living S type. According to Fred Griffith, the transforming principle was the mucus coat of S type, but later on, three scientists, Avery, MacLeod, and McCarty, by trial and error method, ये भी entrance question है, which method was used, trial and error method, they found out it was the DNA of the dead bacteria S type which transforms the R type into S type. Now this one in Kingdom Monera, last year in the 11th standard, kingdom Monera is all about bacteria. And sexual reproduction in bacteria. There are three types of sexual reproduction in bacteria. One is sexduction or conjugation. Second one is transformation, and third is transduction. So transformation in generally ये experiment है, but in general case also transformation is ये है dead bacteria, this is living bacteria. So the donor DNA donor is dead bacteria. The DNA of the dead bacteria enters into the DNA of the living bacteria and gets incorporated, added over here. So, changing the living bacteria. This is what is transformation. So, that same principle, the same theory is applied over here. And here, instead of saying we are saying donor and living, we are use there are two types of bacteria over here, S type and R type. So this is also a general phenomena which is very common in the bacteria. This is what I want you to remember. So in transformation, one is a dead bacteria, other one is a living bacteria. The donor is the dead bacteria. Donor of DNA is dead bacteria, and the recipient of the DNA is the living bacteria. So this is about transformation. Next topic is transduction. Transduction experiment, which is also called the Blender's experiment. Transduction experiment or Blender's experiment, this is the second thing to prove that DNA is the genetic material. This experiment was conducted by Hershey, Alfred Hershey, and Martha Chase, 1952. So the experiment was conducted by Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase in the year 1952. And the transduction, what is transduction? It is the infection of the bacteriophage to a bacteria. That is transduction. Infection of bacteriophage on a bacteria. So here the bacteriophage use is T2 phage. Bacteriophage. Bacteriophage is a virus. Okay, it is a virus infecting bacteria. Phage, virus infecting whatever is in the front, bacteria. So transduction is when a bacteriophage infects a bacteria, that is transduction. And here the experimental phage uses T2 phage, and the bacteria used is Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli, that is E. coli. Escherichia coli. Now, before I explain the experiment, there are certain things you have to know. If you don't know this, you will not understand the experiment. So let us go a little into the detail of that, but you don't need to write this in the experiment. Okay? So I'll just let you know first what you have to remember and understand about the experiment that we are going to discuss. So T2 phage is the bacteriophage and bacteria is E. coli. Okay, now coming to first the explanation and then we will write the experiment. This one is a phage, bacteriophage. It has a head, tail, and tail filament. Head, tail, and tail filament. The head you can see is hexagonal in shape, six-sided hexagonal. So this is the head. The head has the protein coat. Okay, head, outer. The coat is protein coat, and center over here is DNA. DNA, the nucleic acid core. Core का मतलब center. So head is protein coat, the outer protein coat, and inner is the DNA. And this one is tail. This is the tail filament, and it gets attached to the bacteria. This is the bacteria. Here we are taking E. coli, and this is the bacterial DNA. Bacterial DNA. All of you know about coronavirus. So it's a virus. Virus generally has a protein coat and inner nucleic acid core. For coronavirus, the nucleic acid core is an RNA. It is not a DNA. And the coronavirus is, they're saying it's mutating. Why it is mutating? Because this protein code keeps changing. So the mutation, because of mutation, the severity of the virus can either be increased or decreased. So that's why that's the thing about virus. But here we are talking about a bacteriophage. This is a bacteriophage which has a head, tail, and a tail filament, and with a protein coat and DNA. Now you come to this part, protein. What are the elements present in the protein? So protein is actually made up of amino acid. So the elements are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. So the elements in protein are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. Yeah, amino acids. Some of the amino acids also have sulfur. So S is there. DNA. What are the elements in the DNA? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. We have seen the structure of DNA. So this is in the um, nitrogen base, sugar, and N is obviously in the nitrogen base. And phosphorus, we see sugar and phosphate, so phosphorus. So actually, the difference between the protein coat and DNA is the actual difference between protein coat and DNA is that protein coat has sulfur and DNA has phosphorus. The rest is same. This CHON, both are same, all same here. So the difference lies in sulfur of the protein coat and phosphorus of the DNA. Okay. So this is one thing which you have to remember, because this is what we are going to explain in the experiment, that T2 phage is grown in radioactive sulfur. So when it is grown in radioactive sulfur, the radioactive sulfur means S35 will get incorporated in the protein coat. And when T2 phage is grown in radioactive phosphorus, it will get incorporated in the DNA. So these are the two main things you have to remember. Okay, now next point. DNA. Once the bacteriophage has infected the bacteria, this DNA is injected into the bacteria. So this viral DNA now has come into the bacteria. This is the viral DNA. This viral DNA, when it is injected into the bacteria, it will make the bacterial DNA inactive. It will destroy it. It will inactive because of some enzyme it produces. So it makes the bacterial DNA inactive. And what will it do? It will make the bacterial ribosomes. Ribosomes are the ones which produce the protein. So it will make the bacterial ribosomes produce viral proteins. So it is like a guest entering to the house, taking over the house, and making commanding everything from the kitchen, like making its own command in the house. So that is what a virus does. A virus cannot multiply outside a cell. It enters into the cell, it takes over the cell machinery, and it will make the cell produce its own proteins. So now viral proteins are produced, and what is produced is daughter bacteriophages. These daughter bacteriophages again will break this cell wall of bacteria and it is released. So, this is how the virus infects a bacteria and multiplies. So, what you have to remember is this is actually called the lytic cycle also of bacteria. Transduction experiment, understand this is called the lytic cycle. Lytic matlab to break. This bacteria gets destroyed. One bacteria gets destroyed. And this bacteriophage, this is the parent, it has produced daughters now. So, two things, at least 2, 3 points you have to remember over here in transduction experiment. One, that the radioactive sulfur is at present will get incorporated in the protein coat. Radioactive phosphorus will get incorporated in the DNA. When a bacteriophage infects a bacteriophage infects the bacteria, daughter bacteriophages are produced. Daughter bacteriophages are produced. This is the viral DNA. The viral DNA is injected into the bacteria. So the viral DNA is entering into the cytoplasm. This protein coat is outside, it does not enter. This empty protein coat, outside the empty protein coat, is called phage ghost. So the empty protein coat is called the phage ghost. Outside, it remains outside. And why it is called Blender's experiment? Blender's experiment means shaking by centrifugation, shaking. This phage ghost and bacteria are separated. That's why transduction experiment is also called the Blender's experiment. To separation of phage ghost and bacteria by centrifugation or shaking, blending, that's the word used, blending. So Blender's experiment. Now, if this is clear, we will go ahead with the experiment. So I would like to have any doubts from yourself. Please, if there are any doubts, you can clarify your doubts now so that things are more clear for me and for you also. Yeah, no doubts, then we can go ahead.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, what is the role of heat killing in S-type bacteria?
It kills heat. It is heat killing means it is to kill the bacteria. Heat is used. High temperature is used.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now for the experiment. Let us see what is the experiment. when you write the experiment, you will divide the page into half like this. I'm sending you a note so you will know how to write the experiment. And like I said, it's an important question, 5 mark question. And since now the ISC may, the change syllabus may, you can expect this question. So transduction. So we'll divide the page into two like this, and then we will write our answer. So first you will write T2 phage is grown in radioactive sulfur. S35. Radioactive sulfur is S35. You mention radioactive sulfur and put S35. Here, this side, you will write T2 phage is grown in P32. P32 is radioactive phosphorus. Second point, S35 gets incorporated into the protein coat of T2 phage. You know why it gets incorporated into the protein coat. So if you did not understand that part, you will not be able to write this, or you just simply mug it up. Now you know why it is getting incorporated into the protein coat. Second, P32 gets incorporated in the DNA of T2 phage. Third point, when T2 phage infects E. coli, when T2 phage infects E. coli, viral DNA is injected into the bacteria. So what is injected? Viral DNA is injected into the bacteria, and the phage ghost. You know what is the phage ghost? The empty protein coat. So phage ghost is seen outside the bacteria. Now, if you know the process of transduction, writing this is not very difficult. It is very simple for you to write because it is, you know, the process involved. Otherwise, you need to only, mug it up. You just, if you don't know the process. So when T2 phage infects the E. coli, viral DNA is injected into the bacteria, and the phage ghost is seen outside the bacteria. Obviously, here the same thing you will write. The same thing, T2 phage infects the bacteria and viral DNA. When you write viral DNA, you write P32. That's it. Because P32 here, your phage ghost may, you can write S35. So P32 is injected into the bacteria. So you can stop over there. You don't need to write these 3-4 lines over here. Okay, that's the only difference here. Here, when T2 phage infects the E. coli, viral DNA is injected into the bacteria, and the phage ghost is having radioactive sulfur S35 is seen outside the bacteria. Here, the viral DNA is injected into the bacteria. Just stop it at P32. Okay. Now, next is testing of radioactivity. So when you test the radioactivity, here the cell wall of bacteria will be radioactive. Cell wall of bacteria is radioactive because the phage ghost is outside. Here when you test for radioactivity, the cytoplasm of bacteria, because viral DNA is coming into the bacteria, so cytoplasm of bacteria is radioactive. Okay, this is one point. Now, Fifth, daughter bacteriophages. And what did I tell you? The viral DNA will destroy the bacterial DNA, make the ribosomes of bacteria produce viral protein. So, daughter bacteriophages are produced. Now, here, since radioactivity is outside, it has not entered into the bacteria. So, the daughter bacteriophages will be non radioactive. So, daughter bacteriophages are non radioactive. Here, daughter bacteriophages are radioactive. Daughter bacteriophages are radioactive. So, firstly, we had explained that which one is radioactive. Here, in this case, S35, the cell wall is radioactive. In P32, the cytoplasm is radioactive. Cell wall of bacteria, cytoplasm of bacteria. Now, next, we are coming to the daughter bacteriophages. Here, the daughter bacteriophages are non radioactive because the viral DNA which has entered into the bacteria is non radioactive. Here, the viral DNA which has entered into the bacteria is radioactive. So, the daughter bacteriophages are radioactive. So, this proves that the genetic material is DNA. The DNA quality has that transformed the heredity to the next bacteriophages. Non radioactive, radioactive. So, it's a proving that DNA is the genetic material. Now, for the blenders experiment, after centrifugation, when you centrifuge it, after centrifugation, what happens? That is, we'll write in the next point. After centrifugation, centrifugation is generally you take the thing solution and the thing in a test tube and revolve it at a very high speed, and there will be separation like this. This is supernatant solution. Whatever is little heavier will settle down. So here are the bacterial pellets, bacterial pellets, and here's the phage ghost. This one is the phage ghost, empty protein coat. ये phage ghost. So in this case, the phage ghost is radioactive. S35 is in the phage ghost, and here again same bacterial pellets and phage ghost. Sorry, phage ghost. Here the bacterial pellets are radioactive. So when you're testing for radioactivity, after centrifugation, after blending it, we find that phage ghost is radioactive, whereas in this experiment, since the viral DNA was radioactive, the bacterial pellets are radioactive, whereas phage ghost is non-radioactive. So this is a very important experiment, and when you write the experiment, in the last you write down, hence it is proved that DNA is the genetic material. So two experiments to prove that DNA is the genetic material. One is transformation experiment and second one is transduction experiment. Transduction experiment is little difficult more easier to remember is transformation experiment. But I hope it's clear now that I have explained it to you. So we have completed DNA. Our next nucleic acid that we study is RNA. So RNA, what is the structure of RNA? First of all, RNA. RNA full form ribonucleic acid. Full form of RNA is ribonucleic acid, and RNA is a single stranded, like DNA is double stranded, RNA is single stranded. The strand of RNA is composed of the strand of RNA is composed of ribose sugar, ribose, which is a pentose sugar, and phosphate joined by phosphodiester bond. So ribose and phosphate joined by phosphodiester bond. DNA में deoxyribose and phosphate joined by phosphodiester bond. So here the difference is ribose, pentose sugar, ribose is C5H10O5, deoxy was C5H10O4, and what are the nitrogen bases here? Nitrogen bases are purine, adenine and guanine, pyrimidine, cytosine and uracil. There is no thymine. Instead of thymine, there is uracil. So basically, the difference between DNA and RNA, here you can see three differences. Three differences you can easily see here. One, DNA is double stranded, double helical strand. RNA is single stranded, no helix over here, single stranded. DNA has deoxyribose sugar, RNA has ribose sugar. Both are pentose sugar, both are 5 carbon sugar. DNA has nitrogen bases as A, G, C, T. RNA has nitrogen bases as A, G, C, U. And the fourth point of difference, which you can write, is that the subunits of DNA is deoxyribonucleotides, whereas RNA it is ribonucleotides. The subunits of RNA are ribonucleotides. This one you have studied even in your 11th standard, nucleotide and nucleoside. So subunits are ribonucleotides. Over there it is deoxyribonucleotide because of the pentose sugar, deoxyribose. So DNA and RNA, first I will explain the structure of ribose and then explain why DNA is the, now see what has happened. And if you see the starting stage of the cell, RNA was the genetic material. So the first genetic material on earth was RNA. But RNA was replaced by DNA as the genetic material. So now in all organism, the genetic material is DNA except for some viruses. Some viruses have RNA as the genetic material, like TMV virus, tobacco mosaic virus, AIDS virus, HIV-3 virus, and the virus that we are studying now, that is the coronavirus, they having the RNA as genetic material. So here what has happened was that the genetic material has changed over the years. Why? Why RNA was replaced by DNA? So this is what we are going to explain now, that why RNA was replaced by DNA as the genetic material. So what is the quality of the genetic material? The genetic material first has to replicate. So DNA can replicate, RNA cannot replicate. So why RNA was replaced by DNA as genetic material? First point, DNA can replicate. Replicate means DNA can duplicate. Okay? DNA can duplicate, can replicate. Obviously, RNA cannot. Second, DNA can be inherited as the Mendelian inheritance. Mendelian inheritance, he said about factors. Factors are nothing but genes. Genes are nothing but DNA. So DNA can be inherited as Mendelian factors, Mendelian units. Third, so DNA as Mendelian factors or Mendelian inheritance. Then third point, DNA is more stable. DNA is more stable than RNA. Why is RNA unstable? When I say DNA is more stable, I have to explain why RNA is more unstable. So in RNA, there is a ribose sugar. ये राइबोज है. Okay, this is ribose. So this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. In the second carbon, there is an OH group. Second carbon of ribose, there is an OH group. This OH group is very, very reactive. So it makes the RNA unstable. In the deoxyribose, ये है diagram. We have explained it in last class, but I will draw it over here so that I can make you remember. See here, this is the second carbon. There is no OH group. There is an H group. This is in DNA, deoxyribose. So the OH group in the second carbon of the ribose in RNA makes it very, very reactive, and that makes it unstable. That is first point. Second point is RNA is having uracil. Uracil is also very reactive. Instead of thymine, it is having uracil, which also makes it unstable. So, 2 points why RNA is unstable. One is the presence of OH group in the second carbon of ribose sugar, and second is that uracil instead of thymine, or the presence of uracil, which is very reactive, makes it unstable. So DNA is more stable. And fourth point, because RNA is unstable, it will change faster, mutate faster, whereas DNA is unstable, so it mutates slowly, changes slowly, and that is important for evolution. mutation slowly over a period of time will cause variations, which is important in evolution. So that is the third and the fourth point, final point. DNA mutates slowly, which is the basis for evolution. Slow mutation, flow changes. DNA is more stable, so slow mutation, whereas RNA is unstable, so faster mutation. So, 4 points to prove why DNA is a better genetic material than RNA. If you're asked which is the first genetic material, it was RNA, but it is replaced in all organisms except for some viruses, where still RNA is the genetic material. So, what suppose another question, just little deviate. Suppose the question is given, what is the property of a genetic material? ठीक है, what is the property of the genetic material? So what will you write? Same points. The genetic material should be able to replicate. The genetic material should be able to be inherited as Mendelian factors. The genetic material should be stable. The genetic material should show slow mutations, which is important for evolution. So these are the 4 points which you can write it in a different way, whatever the questions are asked. Okay, so that is all for today. Any doubt?